I thought we'd be able to get in today. One potential injury, which is always a positive thing in terms of coming out of it healthy. I was impressed with the offense being able to maintain their tempo now that the coaches have stepped back a little bit. It wasn't as fast as what we've seen in practice, but they were able to hold tempo closer than what I thought they would, and what I thought we would in a game-like setting. I thought the quarterback's decision-making was positive overall, not only throwing it, but scrambling, and I thought our ball security was good. One turnover that was negated by a penalty, and so from those things I was impressed. I thought our running backs had a nice day, and our execution offensively in general I was pleased with. Defensively, execution-wise, I think the offense played more physical than the defense, so the run game, because of the tempo and what I saw there, the offense held their conditioning longer than the defense. The running backs were falling forward more frequently, and so that allowed offensive conversions and touchdowns, which I thought was really positive. So a lot more touchdowns and field goals in general for a spring game, which I thought was positive from an offensive perspective. We saw a ton of depth players today, and it was great to be able to get 80-ish type plays with players that were looking for to find a key backup here or there. And so this will be really, really valuable film to find out how the depth might play out. And so we look at it and then set that going into the last 3 practices of spring.
I know it's early, but any idea on Ammon Olsen at this point?
The early report is maybe a partial PCL tear, which they're anticipating is not likely to require surgery. It's usually a 6-week type recovery. That's the early prognosis, so not ACL, not MCL, but possibly PCL and possibly only partial from the original diagnosis.
Did you want the quarterbacks to go live, or did you have to be talked into that?
No, I was anxious to see him, and with the exclusion of Taysom, who's not 100%, they haven't been hit all spring, and we weren't sure yet with zero experience of the players that played today how they do ball security-wise, whether they're being sacked, and because there's some quarterback runs in what we do, it'd be nice to see if they're trustworthy in holding on to the football. So it seemed like if we were ever going to do it, now better than fall.
How do you feel about the offense after 12 practices?
I think it's coming along nicely. Certainly we can improve, but as I was just saying, the tempo held closer than what I thought it would to practice tempo without the coaches chasing and hollering and those kind of things. So I like the tempo, and in general, for a very limited script, I thought our execution was pretty good. Quarterback decision-making, ball security, being able to run the football, and then throwing it effectively when needed with some big plays. So I thought it was a positive day overall offensively.
Bronco, you played a lot of, like you said, on defense, you had a lot of position players get in there. Did anybody really stand out to you?
Not really. I was hopeful to see more and more players emerge that might be able to be considered for depth, but watching it from my perspective, I didn't see that. Other than a few flashes by Alani Fua, who's had a really nice spring practice, so I was very impressed with, if I was impressed with anyone defensively, Alani is really emerging.
We all just assume the defense will be great again. What concerns do you have, if any?
Not many at this point defensively. Size and depth of the defensive line. So we'll be very athletic defensive line-wise. We have 5 recruits coming, and hopefully we can bolster our speed with some size to have enough defensive linemen to make it through the season. And so that would be the only concern, maybe personnel-wise, but the rest I think we have a chance to be very good.
Coach, can you talk specifically about the offensive line play and what you saw from them?
You know, the offensive line is much like what I saw defensively. A ton of depth players. We're just trying to find who could possibly be maybe the 8th or the 9th offensive lineman. There's 2 starters that are hurt at this point, 4 JC players coming, and so then you add existing Manaki, Solo, and Michael Yeck. Michael Yeck's probably had the best spring and has helped his stock the most. So those 3, in addition to the 2 that are hurt with the JC players coming, I think we'll have plenty of offensive linemen. Okay? Thanks a lot. Yep.